Are corporations ripping off the American homeowner?
Hey everyone, it's the Hatch Homes Group, and it is our Monday housing market update. And before we get into our topic of the day about corporations ripping off the homeowner, please remember to like and subscribe if you're enjoying what you're seeing. So what are we talking about? Well, right now there's a bunch of headlines going on, especially in our industry of all these agents, where there's this corporation that was historically not super agent friendly that's getting in trouble. They're getting sued for some of their marketing. So of course all these agents are like, see, they suck.
Karma's a bitch.
And so there's just a hot topic in the industry. But what does that mean for the consumer, right? So we're talking about iBuyers specifically. Michelle, what is an iBuyer?
Well, an iBuyer is a company or corporation that uses technology to make an offer on a home instantly directly to the homeowner. So it's often sight unseen, and you're selling off the open market directly to a corporation. There's several big iBuyer corporations, but this specific recent lawsuit and headlines that we're talking about today is about Opendoor.
So what's the lawsuit about?
So the lawsuit is about basically Opendoor deceived sellers or homeowners about the value
Supposedly.
of their home. Hmm?
Supposedly deceived. That's what the
Yeah.
lawsuit's about,
Well,
right?
I mean, they said that their fees were a certain amount when they would just start gouging them for repairs. And then also they had direct marketing that said that they would net more selling off market with them than if they went on the open market. That's exactly what the lawsuit is about, because that's not true.
Yeah, and I was actually really surprised because, us in the industry that kind of like we're aware of Opendoor, like we definitely saw during the height of the market that some Opendoor like made crazy high offers that we were like, well, they're just trying to get market share. So I think that there were probably a few sellers that probably made out pretty well getting those like instant
Yeah.
offers that were just way over what the house was worth, but they were just trying to get market share. But ultimately, like we know in the industry, like this is so proven, even working with for sale by owners, even if you have that builder that's calling you saying they'll pay cash for your house, you will get more for your house, for your biggest financial investment, if you prepare it for the market and put it on the active market, right? So like this is kind of surprising to see that Opendoor was flat out saying you're going to get more if you don't put it on the market. Like I can see why they're getting sued, right?
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we saw IREP or like these iBuyers coming, right? Years ago. John's not on the call today, but he was a real proponent of getting like what we call IREP certified. So we all like were like, okay, what are the iBuyers? How do I figure out how to work with them? And so we were like kind of in the beginning seeing like really like listening, like how much of the market share are these iBuyers going to take over? We didn't know when they first came on. We thought, well, maybe this will be like the wave of the future. And I think there's a lot of investors that throwing money in at them thinking that they will
Yeah.
be. I think right now it's like what 1.3 or a little under 2% of market share right now. So it's not huge, but it's definitely catching a lot of headlines. So Johnny, like, I know you've had recent experience with working with iBuyers. Like, let's kind of like talk a little bit about what are the pros and cons for the consumer with working
Yeah.
with iBuyers.
Well, for the selling side, it's been proven with a lot of studies on MLSs that they actually net about 17% less by selling off market. So that in itself is a huge con, unless of course you do not want showings, your house is terrible or something like that. It could be pro or con depending how you look at it. It's like working with like a bank owned property. So it's a corporation, they have zero emotional attachment to the house. On the con side, for a buyer, if you want to know like a lot of information about that house's history, like on the repairs, on who knows, people want to know all kinds of things. They're not going to know pretty much anything.
Yeah.
And that can be frustrating. And some things they think they know and disclose that they know aren't always accurate. So that also is a con.
Yeah, if you're buying it sight unseen, a lot of these, iBuyers they have one person going out taking photos or something. How much can they really know about the house? Or if they know about it, like just like working with a bank, I've worked with a lot of bank owned properties where I know they know about an issue, but they say they don't know. So,
well, because they have the caveat of like maybe not even being in the state, they don't even know the city, they don't know the house.
They get away with it with those exemptions on the property disclosures too. Yeah. So, I don't know about that.
And mistakes can happen when you're dealing with such a big corporation like that. Like for instance, we had a buyer that was purchasing an open door property, and some things came to light in the inspection, and the biggest one was new plumbing. It needed new plumbing. So we negotiated them to get a credit for the plumbing to redo it themselves, and they were agreeable to that. But somewhere that got lost in the shuffle, and they went ahead and just replaced the plumbing. So like the buyer got the credit and new plumbing. So bonus, right? But like,
yeah,
it's a good thing for the buyer, but not so great for a corporation who's trying to make money. And I think that is a big part of why these iBuying models just don't work, and why you saw Zillow stop doing it and this lawsuit against Open Door, because it's just not a lucrative model, really.
Well, because they were really, you were saying before, they were saying they had great algorithms to get you a great offer, but what it was they were kind of lowballing and selling very, very high.
Exactly.
Because I had one transaction that it was an open door, and it had been on the market for like 6 or 7 months at the height, like when everything was selling first weekend, and it was because it was like $90,000 overpriced.
Right. And so in this recent market that we just are, kind of out of now, but sellers probably wouldn't have had to make any repairs.
Exactly.
And Open Door was gouging sellers and just having these hidden fees, or, just little things that they weren't fully disclosing. And
I think it's like honest, like in my experience and in talking to a lot of agents that were working with these iBuyers through this market, it didn't feel very consistent. So I don't think it was like consistently they were like lowballing, and like I think it was really like a bit inconsistent. Like I had a seller that got offered a house had an open door offer, and they sent it to me, and they were like, "This, I don't trust this," and I was like because it's too good to be true, man. Like if they're going to pay you that, then you got to go with them, because that's a lot of money. And I don't think that like it's worth that. And they, in the end, like what happened is that like they did go through the process, and they did like try to come back with a big credit, like for repairs. And they were just like, no, I don't like this situation at all. So they never went through with it. Yeah. But talking to a lot of agents, like there was some where they didn't, like they were just trying to get market share. They didn't gouge them on repairs and stuff. So it was just really inconsistent. And I guess that creates like a trust issue.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, hard to trust.
Hard to trust.
Well, that's why 92% of people still work with agents.
Yeah.
In the end. But you got to choose the right agent.
Yep. So important. We are not all created equal.
So true. 100%. So interview us, give us a call. Let us know your thoughts on this.
Yeah. And, we have obviously like had some real recent experience with some of these iBuyers and experience over the years. So if you have any questions, we are happy to help you with them. So remember, like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.